Alrighty, folks. This is Alan with the part 2 video for our Boros aggro deck for our Kaldheim draft. We stayed very open. If you want to see the first draft portion, just watch the first video, of course. But the game crashed and froze in our third matchup that we managed to win. So I had to restart the client, and the game just stopped recording for some reason. So yeah, let's I need to add this to my collection. Yeah, let's keep playing. And if you want to see a draft portion, just again see the first part video. But we stayed pretty open. It was pack one, pick one between the Boreal Elf and the Clarion Spirits. I felt like it was fine passing up the green card since everyone wants to draft green in this set, and I'd rather just be the white drafter at the table. But there's also an argument to take the Boreal Elemental and draft a Busted Snow deck, but I took the more conservative, safe route, and I'm still happy with where I'm at. I could have had double Showdown of the Scalds in this deck, but I think one was fine enough since we're mostly an aggro beatdown deck and we don't really care about generating too much value in the late game. But overall, currently 3-0, so our deck is definitely overperforming. With 15 lands, we managed to still managed to curve out and cast most of our spells and opening hand. I mean, this is great with a 3-drop, but we're on the play. Let's risk it. At the very least, we can maybe foretell Demon Bolt and cast a 2-drop, so it's not that bad. And we can also maybe cast Run Amok if he tries to block it. So yeah, a lot of people like playing grindy decks in this set, especially blue-green. So we're the outlier. We're the ones who are going to take another approach. Let's see, you could play a defensive creature here, just foretells. Could be a pack mate. Alright, I don't mind the Battlefield Raptor, but I think we want to foretell the Demon Bolt to maybe cast this for 1 next turn and play the Cold Spell Cleric. So I think it's fine foretelling here to conserve some mana, attack for 2. And next turn I can play Demon Bolt and Cold Spell Cleric, putting a counter on maybe the Shield Mate or the Cold Spell Cleric in case we miss a land drop. Horizon Seeker's fine. Yeah, we're missing our land drops, so it's not looking too great for us. However, I could just attack for 2, or keep it back. I think we need to get in for damage in this deck. The Demon Bolt is quite efficient, though. So maybe we're fine playing out the Battlefield Raptor first, and then deciding whether or not we want to Demon Bolt this end of turn. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. Maybe fine trading with the 3-2. I don't really want to use Demon Bolt in the 3-2, and we're missing our land drops since we're going 15 lands, so definitely getting a bit punished here, but I think with 15 lands we can function nicely. And if he uses a pump spell with Demon Bolt response, so this is fine. I like to trade here. It's pretty efficient, and we can always Demon Bolt something larger. We can attack back for 2 next turn. We can even put a counter onto the creature, so we'll see. Totally fine with me. Trade is fine. Keep our Demon Bolt in hand, and then hopefully next turn we will use this on a much more threatening creature that's in the way, like a Mistwalker. We'll see. Single blue. I mean, he could try something here for single blue, which can be pretty annoying, but we'll see. Trade is good. We still get 1 token that can swing back, so fine with this trade. Opponent can play a land into maybe like a removal spell, potentially. I don't mind land into Breakneck Berserker getting for 5 next turn. That would be pretty awesome if we can hit a land, of course. It's a pretty excellent trade for us, trading a 2-drop for a 3-drop. But if the opponent's going to be playing a grindy deck and we're missing our land drops, it's not going to be that serious. Okay, so we're really missing our land drops, so yeah, this is not looking good for us. So I might just play out this Cold Spell Cleric as much as I hate to, without value, because I do need to like apply pressure on the board. It's not very efficient, but we have a bunch of 3-drops in our hand, so I highly doubt we're going to double spell anytime soon. So we might as well play the 1-drop that can maybe pressure the opponent. And kill something large, or maybe get in for 3 next turn. Guardian Gladewalker, okay, that's fine. I can always run Amok and kill it. But you could just have like another spell in response, so maybe I'm fine just attacking for 1 still. Okay, he's foretelling, so I don't mind a run amok. And if he wants to take it, it does use up my turn, so could just cast Goldmod Champion here, or Starnheim Courser. Maybe Courser is better to have the extra flyer. I do want to be mana efficient. Like, we could run amok, but now with the land drop, I feel more inclined just to play the extra flyer to start beating down. And yeah, the less lands we're playing, the less efficient these Gold Mod Champions are, so I'm only playing 2 copies as opposed to 3, since there's 1 in my sideboard. So the opponent can play some big sweepers, some big bombs, but our game plan is just to get his life point to 0 as quickly as possible, so... Glimpse, nice card draw spell, he can cast it again with the Shapeshifter, so... Not a bad card, so I could just attack next turn and use the Run Amok or offer a trade. Because this is just really excellent value, just drawing so many cards with this. Raider's Carve. Unfortunately, can't really crew this, so I could just attack and use Run Amok. I could Runa Speed, which is quite awesome too. May's fine using Run Amok, so it not only gets rid of 2/2, but he won't be able to... I guess he could have like a Frostbite, so I should be careful here. Maybe I'm fine just playing out the Breakneck Berserker and offering the trade. Otherwise, I guess I can maybe Runa Speed and try to hit a land drop. But I think the Breakneck Berserker is fine here. And I could attack with all, maybe lose a 1/1, which is okay. Or just offer a trade with a Breakneck Berserker, but I think these are still getting in. Let's just attack with these and maybe offer to trade here. He could Frostbite again, but that's fine. Can't really crew the 2/2. Probably see a Frostbite or Demon Bolt here. The trade here is fine since I don't want him to really glimpse again. He could always have like more interaction. But, okay, we bait out Demon Bolt, so that's fine. And now he can't glimpse again, so I think the trade was worth it. And we didn't get blown out by playing Runa Speed or Run Amok, so glad that I got rid of the instant speed removal spell, because if I was to use like Run Amok or Runa Speed, the blowout would have been pretty huge. So, all right, that's really annoying. I can still kill this with the Demon Bolt, but I guess I need red mana, so I definitely need to find my red mana here. I guess attacking for 4 isn't the worst. If he wants to attack, I'll take it, since I'm the one trying to outrace the opponent. I guess he's just trying to thin out his deck. Hopefully he doesn't hit a land here. No blocks, so no lands, so we get to swing back for 3. And yeah, we're just missing our land drops, so getting punished here going 15 lands. But sometimes it does happen, and yeah, him destroying our red source is going to set us back, so... This game is not looking good. And Toraf is quite strong. Whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excessive non-combat damage. Okay, so we definitely don't want to block, because if we do, it's just going to wipe our board. So yeah, this isn't looking good. I think we're going to be taking A tier. We need to take out Toraf. And yeah, it's probably not happening since we're missing land drops. And white mana is not going to do it. I highly doubt we're going to get there, so we'll just concede. And take our first loss. It does happen. That's a high variance of running 15 lands. But I still, again, think we go for it. Because we just don't have any ways to prevent too much flood from happening. So we'll keep up the 50 land shenanigans. I think we can still run away with it. I've done it before. And I've also flooded out in games where I played 16 lands, which is really unfortunate. So just to not risk the flood, I think it's fine going 15 still. And again, we have a lot of 1-drops and 2-drops to curve out with, so. Opening hand, okay, see, we managed to get there with Showdown at the Scald, so we'll say go. Could just cast a Code Spell Cleric on turn 1. It's not looking very good, so maybe I'm fine just playing out the Axguard Cavalry. I could haste it next turn. Doesn't seem very good since we can eventually Rune and then Code Spell Cleric, so I think it's fine passing. And then we'll play the Axguard and maybe Cleric onto it. Path, so another multicolor shenanigans deck. Okay, this is a pretty decent card. if you can get to 5 colors, but you're mostly going to use this just to find a land drop. And we'll cast an Axgar Cavalry. Next turn we can even like Rune of Speed, and then put a counter on the Code Spell Cleric, or put a counter onto the Axgar Cavalry, attack for 4. Boreal Outrider, okay, that's a pretty good card. So now what? I guess I don't mind Rune of Speeding this, and maybe offering the trade, which is fine. And then I guess I'll attack for 3, and then make a 2/2 back on defense. Let's try that. And if he wants to trade, that's even better, since snow decks can be quite oppressive at times. So we'll try this approach. Hopefully he just doesn't play a bunch of large creatures. I don't mind trading, actually. So probably could see a removal spell here. I could just play Showdowns to maybe leverage the Master Scald. Although it's better in the late game, so maybe we can just Rune of Speed instead to find something, or just Bound in Gold. We could just Bound in Gold and get him for a nice attack, actually. It's not actually unreasonable. I feel like we should Rune of Speed. Maybe see a removal spell on Cold Spell Cleric. I'm fine. I'm totally fine with the trades here, and yeah, I'm totally fine attacking if the opponent wants to trade. That's fine, because it does get rid of this annoying blocker. And if he wants to use a removal spell on Cleric, that's also fine. Yep, it's going to use this on defense. I'm still getting for 3. Opponent can make large creatures, but maybe we can Bound in Gold. I'm looking forward to playing this once I have more lands and I flood out. It's just not looking very good unless that does happen. So, all right, can play Master Scald, get back Rune, or we can play Showdown right now. I don't mind a Master. Getting back to Rune is pretty nice. And maybe we can attack with it next turn. Yeah, I guess this is the most mana efficient play. I could also just offer the attack, but it doesn't seem great, so I'll say go. Can play Gomod Champion, put a rune onto it, although I won't be able to tap anything down. So I might just attack with a 4/4. Swell is quite good, but I think I'm going to Bound in Gold in it. Blizzard Brawl, okay, it's going to be indestructible, so he gets to free roll me here. Yeah, no blocks. I think I'm fine not blocking. I don't mind bounding this, to be honest. So we can play land, Bound in Gold here. Still getting for 3. And then we can play Gomod Champion to be mana efficient. I could play Raptor to gain the extra 2, but I think we'll save it for now. Get him for 3. The 2/3 can still hold off the 2/1s. And maybe we can still outrace the opponent. Ice High Troll, fine win condition. Yeah, we might try to race in the air now, so maybe we're fine playing out the Showdown first. Therion Spirit's quite powerful. Although, I guess I can double spell here. I can play land, Therion Spirit into Battlefield Raptor, and that's quite cool. Oh, actually, it's not my second spell, so I kind of misplayed that, so never mind. Should have thought of that before trying anything, but Rootless U is kind of slow, so we might just have to win the game in the air now. Alright, so now we can play land. We can play the Battlefield Raptor. Does it really matter? Not really. Play the Rune of Speed. Give the other Raptor a counter. Yeah, this is just really awesome. Now we can just fly over. Even a run amok. So is this lethal? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not quite lethal yet. But we can definitely do a ton of damage here, and we'll still stay alive, I think. So what we can do now is, I guess we can now like Demon Bolt the Ice High Troll. Put another counter here, and then we can attack with all. And then before damage, we can still run amok. I mean, I would love the Glorious Protector, but this is just too good here. Yeah, I guess it's almost lethal here. Opponent's down to 1. And then we have chump blockers for days, so we should be able to just close this game out. yeah. So Showdown the Battlefield Raptors, pretty insane combo. So yeah, this card is just a busted rare. I wouldn't play 2 copies because it's a little bit clunky, but 1 copy is definitely very strong in these white red aggressive decks. So yeah, maybe move on to our 5th victory. So we made back most of our gems. Let's keep this up. Glorious Protector would have been amazing too, but again, I think it was fine just playing a million spells and just putting the opponent down on 1. Down to 1, I mean. Okay, opening hand. I do like the Immerstorm Raider. The R cards are kind of sketchy though. I still think we're on a draw, so I think it's okay. I might ditch maybe the Coldspell Cleric with the Immerstorm Raider so I can exile to play the Stalwart Valkyrie. I don't actually hate a plan like that. Let's think. I definitely need a lands in this deck, so I think I'm going to keep the 1/1 Coldspell Cleric and exile it. I mean, not exile, but discard it with the Immerstorm Raider. Now, that's a pretty annoying card, but we can always answer it the turn after. Ooh, I do like Clarion Spirit. So next turn we can double spell, and that's pretty awesome. So let's play this first, and we can maybe then play the Raider. I don't know if we want to discard anything though. If it's another bad play, but maybe it's just if it's an annoying 2-drop, maybe we're fine discarding it. Okay, so another land is awesome here. So I think we have to do this. So yeah, we'll play the Immerstorm Raider here. I don't like discarding lands, but I think we should be able to cast all of our spells, so I'll take the risk. And we still got a land anyways. Now we can play Coldspell Cleric, trigger, and then we can put a counter onto the flyer, which is awesome, and then we can still swing in for 2. And now we're pretty much playing the opponent's game plan of double spelling per turn, and now we have a 2/2 flyer. I'm fine even double blocking this Blood Sky Berserker, to be honest. Rune, pretty annoying. If he plays a second spell, I'm fine double blocking. I mean, sure. I guess he's going to stay back now. I'm fine double blocking this, to be honest. It's just a very annoying card. I guess he doesn't want that. Okay, so now what we can do is we can play land. Bound in Gold isn't too bad, since we can get in for a ton of damage, and then now we can play the Battlefield Raptor afterwards and get in for 5, so... yeah, I think I'll go for this. This is really good. And he also has a rune on, so it's a nice 2-for-1. Although he just drew a card off a rune, so it's not really a 2-for-1, so... yep. Just gonna play the aerial game plan now. The elves are really annoying, though, although he doesn't really have any elves to get back, so that's quite bad for him. So I could just play the Showdown, or play Stalwart Valkyrie without exiling anything, although it doesn't seem very good. Let's play Showdown, it's pretty fun here, so then next turn we can just put a bunch of counters everywhere. And now we can also hit our land drops, which is awesome, and attack. This can't, I mean, I wish I can use this to get back Showdown, but it's just going to become a 4/4 this turn, so I guess he's going to try to gain life. He can eventually attack with the Elf, but it's not going to do much. So I could play Ravager here, and then play the Valkyrie, which is quite excellent. And what can I name? I can just go face here. Yeah, I guess I can name, like, I don't know. Let's just do this. Put a counter onto the Battlefield Raptor. Maybe I just go face. Yeah, maybe just going face is fine here. Put another counter onto one of our flyers. I guess we're only pinging him for 1, which I'm fine with, and we can attack for 5. This is 5. If he does block the 2/1, I guess that's 6, but I don't think I want to do that, so we'll say go. He can attack with the Shadow Sage and kill my 1/1, but that's fine. I still have the Sigrid as a fine removal spell. He needs 6 mana for a board wipe, so I think he's just dead here. Unless he can just kill all my flyers, which I highly doubt it in black, green. If he plays like double way down, maybe, and then plays like a flyer to block the 3/3, but here I don't think it's going to happen. So we're probably not blocking this. He probably pretty much doesn't have lethal, so he can kill the 2-1, but I don't care. We'll just swing back, no blocks. And yeah, we have him here. Yep, nice. 5-1. Showdown's a powerful bomb, and yeah. With 15 lands, we still managed to get there, so not a bad deck. And yeah, 5-1. Let's keep this up. Just 2 more victories. Red-white aggro, the safer approach. In case everyone else around you is trying to draft the green multicolored shenanigans, snow decks. You can just steal games with the Boros aggro decks in 2 colors and get away with it. And this is a good example of a deck that's doing so. Haven't seen any decks of amazing sweepers yet. I do like Clarion Spirit on turn 2, and if we get a second land, we can maybe Beskar Shieldmake into Cold Spell Cleric, or Axguard Cavalry into Cold Spell Cleric, so I think I like this hand. And then hopefully we can lead with the Clarion Spirit and find another land to get everything going. This card is quite bonkers if you can cast it exactly on turn 2. Although he can eventually sack this to kill Spirit, so that's something to consider. If I can cast this early and start triggering it, then that's quite powerful. Although right now we're not drawing any lands, so we need to get very lucky here. So hopefully we can maybe find mana to double spell to trigger the Clarion Spirit, get some value, and then go from there. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, although if I put a counter on the Clarion Spirit, I can potentially hit for 3 and dodge to Skemfar Elderhall, but it's also really bad if he has removal. So either way, I think I think we're still kind of going to have issues if we can't if we put a counter onto this or not. So he's attacking, definitely no blocks, no reason to block here. Guess he doesn't have snow lands to ramp, so he might as well attack and go from here. 2 mana might foretell something. He does have double activations of these, so this is scary. So might want to put the counter onto Clarion and attack for 3. And this is kind of like the game plan we don't want to face here. Rune, quite good. Wow, we can't even get a second land to save our life, so that's gonna be quite problematic. But I'm fine trading the 2-1 for the 3 for the 2-2 if he decides to attack next turn. And then even if we trade this off, we can still cast the Stalwart Valkyrie, so not bad. Horizon Seeker, might want to keep this back for the Horizon Seeker now. Finally got a land drop, so now maybe we can double spell. Although we don't really have anything to double spell into, so I feel like we can just play Gomod Champion and pass. And then hopefully, yeah, he's probably going to find a bunch of lands to activate, so I probably need to start enhancing this Clarion Spirit and making flyers to offset these lands. But the 2-1's definitely blocking the 3-2 this turn. And then maybe we can double spell next turn with the Stalwart Valkyrie and Cold Spell Cleric. Although I probably want to put a counter onto the Valkyrie instead of the Spirit. Because maybe the flyer is more important than the Clarion Spirit. Although the Clarion Spirit can start making flyers, we're kind of stuck on mana, so we're probably not going to get too many activations out of this. So we're probably better off playing the Valkyrie, putting a counter onto the Valkyrie, and hopefully it doesn't get answered. So, Packmates, okay, so we're probably still playing back on defense this turn. So, Bound in Gold can lock down the Packmates. Although I could just foretell the Glorious Protector here. This is not looking good. Could attack and tap and offer to trade, actually, which is also not very amazing. I don't really want to use Bound in Gold on any of these cards, so I think I just foretell the Glorious Protector. And again, we're getting punished for yeah, missing our land drops in this deck, so it's not looking good for me. Might just have to double block this Packmate. He can activate this double black. No, he needs one more land. Okay, that's a card I'm willing to kill with the Bound in Gold. Okay, now at least I can double spell this turn. So maybe I can afford to take 5. And maybe have a first strike blocker. I could also just Glorious Protector to save my Clarion Spirit until next turn. If he wants to activate a land, although he does need a land to get it going, so it's not easy here, especially missing my land drops. So maybe I can afford to just do this instead. Can we double spell? Like, I could chump. I mean, yeah, our mana base is just not looking good, so we're probably fine putting it onto the Raptor and then having our Spirit die to maybe a land activation. Although, like, I do want to make chump blockers, but I'm hoping he misses on a land drop this turn. Still fine taking 5. Maybe the game plan is to win the air now. I could always just chump with the Code Spell Cleric, of course. Maybe that's just better, since this is not going to be useful anymore. And eventually keep up the Glorious Protector. Now he can activate, kill the Clarion Spirit, which is annoying. Although he is not. I don't know if that's a mistake. But now I guess he has a 4/2 flyer now, which is being problematic. Finally a land, so we can still double spell. I guess we can't. The Ravager, what can that kill? That can maybe kill the flyer, and maybe we can get in. I might want a Glorious Protector, though, and save the Clarion Spirit instead. Maybe that's just a better approach, and then we can maybe Bound in Gold to turn afterwards. So I guess we'll try that approach. We'll attack for 2, keep up Glorious Protector, save our Clarion Spirit, because the Clarion Spirit might just be our main win condition from here on out. We just need to protect it, so then if he kills the Glorious Protector, maybe we can make enough flyers to win the game with, so... Yeah, let's see if he activates on the Clarion, and then maybe we can flash in Glorious Protector to protect it. Because I think that's what he's going to do. He can always activate it again, but then he doesn't have any amazing targets the following turn after. Please just use it on the spirits. I'm begging you. I think he still makes the tokens, even if this doesn't resolve. I'm not sure. So that's another question to consider. Please just use it. And then in response we can flash this in. And we can exile it. So then he doesn't kill it, and he doesn't get the tokens, so that's not bad. And then maybe we can Bound and go to 4/2. I could just triple block this. Or take 5. I could just take 5. Next turn we can play Ravager and maybe block this. And maybe try to win the game with flyers instead. I don't know why he should be attacking here, honestly. The 5/5 is just doing a really good job attacking. Cleric, Spirits, Cleric. Yeah, I think we have enough to take out this this Recluse, so then we can start attacking this guy. So yeah, I don't really know what the opponent's doing, but he should be attacking here. This is just insane value. We can now take out the Recluse, and now we can just fly across for the game and win that way. Might want to keep 1/1/1 back. I'm fine attacking with these two. And we have a Bound in Gold as extra removal. He could use the land on the Basalt Ravager. I guess he needs another extra land, so... Okay, might just do it now on the Ravager. And we might be just be forced to chump here. If he takes out the Glorious Protector, we can start shitting out flyers still, so... Not bad. Another Packmate, so he's still trying to take the turn off. Which is giving us a lot more time, which does make me happy. I think I'm fine with a trade here. Yeah, the trade is alright. I think I'll double block here. This is totally reasonable. if he wants to use a trick, that's fine with me. He could also, I mean, he would have used the dead weight here, right? The weight down. I don't know. I guess he could untap and use a pump trick here, but this is totally fine with me. I can put in an extra flyer. Hopefully, he doesn't have like blood in the snow. That would be pretty broken, and I'll be pretty much unable to win if that's the case. I guess he has a way down here for my bird. Bloodline Pretender. That's still going to be pretty slow here, so I'm still okay if he wants to do that. Master Skull, can't bring anything back. I do like the Valkyrie and the Axe Guard, although I am double spelling. I think it's still fine. I guess, yeah, we'll just do it here. I mean, it could be really risky, though. Maybe I can just play a Master Skull without value and just have a 4/4 blocker. Maybe that's just better. I don't know. Maybe that's just better, and then we can still attack with these flyers. Yeah, I guess I can still block the 3/1, so just attacking the flyer is still fine. Sure, and this is like a 2-turn clock. This way is a 2-turn clock, so we can keep the flyer back next turn and then just do this, but this is fine. If he plays another reach creature, we can bound and gold and stop him. So. So hopefully no blood in the snow. That would be like the biggest blowout. He definitely might need to swing with the Coma's Faithful this turn. We can maybe block it the 4/4 or trade it with the 2/1. And we still get a 1/1 token. Although I'd rather trade the 2/1 off to something else in case he has a pump spell for Coma, so then the 1/1 can stay back. Mass Vandal, okay, that's not going to do anything. I guess it just enhances the Bloodline Pretender, which I don't care about. So he definitely needs to attack with the... Okay, he's going to gain a ton of life, so I think that's his game plan. So now we definitely need to like start attacking with him. Maybe we just lock down the Coma's Faithful. I don't want him drawing a million cards. I guess we can do it now since we have a second bound and gold. So yeah, let's just lock this down and then just attack with the flyers and play this Axe Guard Cavalry, which can give haste to our flyer next turn and maybe close out the game. Yeah, I don't think we're chump blocking. I think we should be able to survive, and we have some good value blocks here, so this is fine. And I guess even if he wipes the board, we can get back the Clarion Spirit, so that's pretty awesome. Black-green Sotai Elves. If he has blood in the snow, he can't really get back anything, so, and we still get a 2/2 that can maybe start making 1/1 flyers, so I think we're still in fine shape. Yeah, nothing here. He can only activate the Skemfar. Yeah, we pretty much got him here. Good games. So yeah, we can maybe trade here. Chump. Yeah, we got him. There's no way he's winning here. He just gave us too much time, and he also tapped out a lot too. We managed to also foil the turn where he activated the spell land, and we were able to get nice value to save the Clarion Spirit. I mean, in that game we were also getting mana screwed, so I think I'm still sticking with 15 lands, but it's also still a lot risky. And yeah, we're currently 6-1. So let's move on to the final boss, and then once we're done with this draft, we can maybe go over the deck and yeah, enjoy our second video. Alright, not a great hand. We're on the draw. Yeah, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. Do we just mold this? I think we do. This is a 2-drop, but yeah, it's not looking like a good hand. This mullet. This is also looking shitty, but if we draw a white land, it's good, and I guess we're forced to keep. In that case, I guess I'll bomb a mountain since it's pretty useless. So yeah, unless we draw a white source, I don't know if this hand's gonna be good, but I think I'm risking it given that this is 15 lands and I'm on the, and I really cannot go. I can't afford to go down to 5 with this type of deck. I think it's fine just keeping double red. It's not looking good though, but that's a nice top deck. So sometimes you just have to pray and it comes. So nice turn to Clarion. We also bottom a land, so that prevents flooding. We have 4 lands, so we should be able to get to 5 eventually. We do need a second Plains for Secret, but we're still fine. I don't really want to Bounding Gold this. He could fight it, but that's not until turn 4, which is next turn. Yeah, I still think we do this, so that next turn we can Bounding Gold and Cold Spell Cleric and go from there, but we'll see. Hope he doesn't fight this. I do want to make a 1/1 flyer to start clocking him, but the fight spell could be very annoying here. This passes turn. Ooh, Showdown. Maybe we just Showdown. I mean, we do have a second Bounding Gold, so maybe Bounding Gold is correct here. Yeah, let's just do it here. I mean, I don't like to use removal spell preemptively like this, but I think this is fine. And we can still attack for 4. Yeah, I don't like to use it like this, but with Showdown, I think I'm fine. We can maybe find another, like, enchantment-based removal, and this is just so much tempo. Although I do want to tap this down and get in a shit ton of damage. So we could just do that. Yeah, I might just do that over the Showdown, so I think we'll just attack. Activate the Boast. Tap this down, get in a shit ton of damage, and then play the Beskar Shieldmate. And no black mana, so I think... Although... yeah, I think I'm playing out the land. He could play a Disciple, but that's not something you want to splash for in a Soul Tide deck, so I'm hoping he doesn't make me discard this, because it's going to be my win condition if, because, like, imagine, like, not playing this land, and then next turn I can play Showdown, and then, have the tap ability available still, and play out land, so I'm hoping he doesn't make me discard this, because this is gonna help me win the game here. I guess even if he plays Elderfang Disciple, he's still spending like 2 mana, I still tap down something, and he's still like behind, so I think I'm pretty happy with this result. Please just don't wipe my board, and please just don't, you could just fight here, squash. Okay, 5-mana squash is totally fine with me, although that means I won't have a removal spell, but I guess this is fine. Ooh, Runa Speed is quite awesome, and we did it again. We got Master Scald with the card, so yeah, I think we just Runa Speed here on the flyer, and we still make a 1/1 here with the Clarion Spirit, so that's pretty awesome. And Glorious Protector is excellent, but we'll just get him for 3. And hopefully no Blood in this snow. He does need double black for it though, so if he has Blood in the Snow, this is a complete blowout, but that's not a second black source, so I think we should be able to close out the game. Unless, I guess he could also have like the Battle of Frost and whatever to wipe the board. He could be a teamer like some sort of snow teamer deck, splashing the Saga, and that would be pretty backbreaking. I don't mind that, that's fine. But we can just grow our flyers this turn, so what we can do is we can... Unfortunately, Master won't be able to do anything, but I still think I play. So what I can do is I can play the Battlefield Raptor. Roll one of the flyers. Play Master Scald here, just for value. Trigger. Make another 1/1 flyer. Yeah, I think I want to enhance. I think I want to spread the wealth. As much as I do like to go all in, I think it's fine spraying the wealth in case he single targets and remove. So, we'll see. Hopefully no board wipes. I could maybe play around a board wipe by making a large creature, but if he kills it, then I won't be able to go... I won't be able to, like, go all in. I don't care about this. Yeah, he's just dead. Showdown is just insane, and then all the 1/1 counters. So yeah, this goes to show that you don't need to necessarily start with a good green snow card, and you can still have a very strong deck in this set. You can start with Clarion Spirits, draft 2 colors, and still manage to get to 7 wins. And if your color and lane is open, you can get really well rewarded. So not bad. And then let me take a snapshot, and let's go over the deck. This is a 15-land Boros aggro deck, so 15 could just be the new 16 now. Although it's a little bit more riskier, but I feel like with cards like double Runa Speed, being able to draw this card is quite nice, and then our curve is just relatively low. There's a lot of 2-drops. I feel like, though, the Golma champions do get worse if you're going to go 15 lands, because you might need to activate this as an ability. But with 2, it could be okay. With 3, I might consider 16 lands. But with 2, I think it's fine. And Starnheim Courser, I'm playing this because it gives a nice discount for our runes, for our Bounding Gold, and our Showdown, and we could use another extra flyer. Typically speaking, the Goldmine Champion is a lot better, but I do need an extra flyer in this type of deck to help me close out, so that's quite good. And then, yeah, same reason why we're not including the third Goldmine Champion. Again, we're running 15 lands. We could use an extra flyer with good synergy in this deck, and then the Breakneck Berserker is kind of just filling the role over the Goldmod Champion as a nice base of threat. The removal is pretty solid. The Run Amok, double Bound Gold, Demon Bolt, and double Goldmod Champion can get through. Yeah, Cole the Forge Master is pretty underwhelming. I hate to say it. I haven't seen a deck or a game where this was very effective, unfortunately. And this, I believe this was the type of deck that was supposed to really show how Cole the Forge Master was going to shine, but unfortunately it didn't, even though we're running double Runa Speed. It just didn't do very well. And even if we had a weapon, it's hard to like have the weapon and Cole on the battlefield to start like attacking the creatures and getting value back. Yeah, I guess Cole could have been alright, just bring back our creatures. But given that the Boros creatures tend to be pretty small, just getting them back for value is a nice incentive, but really, it's not going to be too impactful. I don't think so. And then, yeah, these are nice 4-drops. And then Master Scald. It's kind of strange how every single time we play Showdown, it exiled our Master Scald. Master Scald would have been pretty amazing if it wasn't exiled. Once Showdown of the Scalds finished, we could have just casted Master Scald to get it back and just loop it again. So yeah, that's pretty disappointing, but we still managed. This card is still a pretty powerful bomb in the Boros aggro deck. So yeah, don't sleep on these tier 2 decks, guys. I know it's not Snow. I know we first picked Clarion Spirit over the Boreal Elemental, but again, you can still have a really strong like red-white deck. You can still go 7 wins. You can still go 7-0, 7-1, 7-2 with these types of decks. So don't sleep on 2 colors, and don't think you know, you have to always take risk drafting the set and going into some sort of 3-color shenanigans decks, since we picked a slightly more weaker card and we still got very well rewarded pack 2 and pack 3. We even saw a second Showdown of the Scalds that was being passed, so we could even have an option of playing 2 copies of these and maybe going 17 lands. But again, I still think aggro wants to go 16-15 lands with maybe 1 copy of Showdown. So yeah, not a bad deck. Looking at the sideboard, Raiders card could have been okay. We didn't have a lot of threes, but I'd rather have permanents that can block and attack right away on turn 3 over the Raiders. Carve. Dwarven's Reinforcement could be fine. Better if we're going to go wide, but I don't really like 2/1s. They can get blocked pretty easily, whereas our other 4s are either flying across, killing something with low toughness, or giving a card draw, giving us some card advantage. Fearless Pup could have also been reasonable if I played more land counts, but boasting for 3 again is a lot. And if I'm spending all my 3 mana just to like give this first strike, and the opponent just decides to double block this with like 4 toughness, it's not very good. So yeah, given our low land count, I don't like the Fearless Pup. Could have considered a Warhorn Blast for a pump effect, but you know, which could be reasonable, since we have a bit of a token theme with the Shieldmate and the Clarion Spirit, but it's still very situational at times. Invoke is more sideboard. Yeah, I guess the only card we would maybe even consider remotely is like the third Goldmod Champion, but this deck was pretty stacked, and I'm quite happy with the results. So yeah, don't sleep on 15 lands in an aggro deck, especially with only 1 5-drop and a couple of 4s, because it can definitely go distance like this draft did. And we even got land screwed in a couple of games and still won them. But yeah, don't sleep on 15 lands or even 16 lands. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this result. And let's claim our prize and crack some packs. Let's pretend we're drafting Kaldheim. And yeah, 7 packs of Kaldheim, so definitely can go through this pack quite nicely. Pack 1, pick 1. Awakening Trolls is quite good. We can even splash for it in green. It's not going to be great against opposing decks that are looking to ramp and play a bunch of lands, but it has a lot of upside. This card's actually really good against like an opponent that's land screwed, or opponent that's playing like a low land count, and if you're able to ramp into this and just disrupt their mana base, this card is quite strong. So I do like Waking the Trolls pack 1, pick 1, and it's also quite splashable. The other two cards, black green. This is a good card in a black green elf deck. This is a good card in a white green gold white deck. Both archetypes are considered kind of still tier 2 in this set. Bound and Go is probably the best white common, which I think is a lot weaker than Fall of the Imposter, but still very good. I think I would take Bound and Gold over Herald, since again black-green is not very good in this set. Black is the worst color, and you really need to commit yourself to the whole tribal theme with Herald. So yeah, it's kind of hard between Bound and Fall. They're both really good, and they're both in green, which is splashable. So I don't know. I would probably still take Waking the Trolls here. I know I'm much more of a conservative drafter that likes to stick with one color and go the open lane, but Waking the Trolls can be insanely powerful, like insanely broken. Like even just making 2 4/4s is so impactful already. It's almost like a bomb in a sense, but it is kind of hit or miss sometimes. It's not very good against an opponent that's also in green, playing a million lands and 18 lands. Or red-blue deck that's playing 18 lands and lots of expensive giants. But against like a mid-range or like an aggro deck, this can definitely do a lot of work. So yeah, don't mind Waking the Trolls. I think it's pretty good. But between Bound and Fall, it's quite close. Maybe still take Bound to stay open, but you never know. Even though black is the worst color, yeah, it's definitely Poison the Cup. You can still splash for this, since you can foretell this for 2, pay 1 generic and 1 black, and cast this, so still can be playable if you're drafting green. And that's pretty much it. I guess Squash is good if you're playing multiple giants and shapeshifters. So yeah, and I also don't mind 1 copy of Squash in like a red-white aggro deck that's also not playing too many giants, since it can just be a nice way to just get something out of the way for 5 mana. Although better if you can cast it for cheap, but probably just Poison the Cup. Alright, we have 2 excellent helms, although there's Vorinclex. Yeah, Vorinclex is an insane bomb. Like, play this with 1/1 counters, and you can put like 2 1/1 counters, which is insane. And then, what's the second ability? If an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead of rounded down. So if they put 1 counter on the creature, rounded down, that's 0. So I guess it negates counters from the opponent, so that's pretty broken. And also prevents, I guess, sagas from triggering, since those also count. So I don't know how it works, but definitely very backbreaking, I feel like, since yeah, like if you can't really count 1, if you cut 1 down to half, it's again like 0.5 or something. But then, like, rounded down is probably 0. So, yeah, Vorinclex is really probably the pick here. Between both of these amulets, probably just a blue amulet, since, again, black is the worst color. But this card can be pretty nice in a nice black-red aggressive deck, since it also makes a Berserker. The Hexproof can just be really good in the blue stall decks as well. If you can put a nice big blocker, big creature, and just give it Hexproof, it's pretty annoying. Although it can be answered if it's tapped, but still very good. But Vorinclex is probably the pick here. And yeah, no amazing commons outside of Squash in this pack, so it's a pretty low power level set, so it's pretty easy to determine what to pick. Yeah, Burst Strider is an overperformer. I would probably still take it over Nico's Defied Destiny. This is one of the weaker multicolor sagas, like the black-white one. But I mean, if you're really heavily dedicated into the Foretell deck, and you're playing a million Foretell cards along with Vega the Watcher, the 2/2 flyer that draws you cards whenever you cast a Foretell spell, it's definitely really good in that archetype. But outside of it, it's not really a card you want to first pick. Berkstrider is an overperformer. 4/4s are excellent in the set, and even outside of a deck with not a lot of snow, just having like maybe like 3 snow lands or 4 snow lands in the deck can maybe enable this, so that this can be quite nice. So yeah, still probably an excellent common. Rimewood Falls is pretty excellent too. Usually blue-green is the snow deck, so you might want to consider first picking this if you want to move in on the all-snow plan, whereas Berkstrider has a little bit more flexibility, since you don't need to necessarily play this in a heavily snow-committed deck, but still pretty good. So yeah, I would probably still take Rimewood Falls, pack 1, pick 1 over Bergstrider. Since blue-green is a snow deck, and these are just very valuable in the blue-green snow deck, so probably still take Rimewood Falls. There's nothing wrong with first picking a land this set. I'm usually the guy that doesn't like to, but I will if there's nothing good. And Bears of Lichara is quite excellent. Even if you don't pick up a million shapeshifters, you still make a 4/4 shapeshifter, and then it can maybe kill something, or if you have any 4-powered creature, it can kill something. Gotta keep in mind, on Chapter 2, the shapeshifters will stay as 4/4s for the rest of the game. So even if this saga goes away, the shapeshifter still stay as 4/4. So this is definitely a powerful rare to start a draft with. It's in a good 2-color combination that's overperforming, and yeah, even if you don't draft a snow deck, this can be a nice backup plan if you don't have enough snow permanents, and it's just a really good saga. It's also splashable too, so this card is excellent. Definitely going to be the first pick here. Golmot Champion, excellent in the white aggressive decks that are looking to attack on the ground, like white-red. Not as good in blue-white because you're attacking in the air, but pretty solid also in white-green, maybe white-black, but it's not a good archetype, so yeah, probably Bears here. This card's insane. You make it's a 3-mana 4/4 that kills something, so that's really good. Realm Walker's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, most likely this is going to overperform in the Elves deck, since that's mostly the tribal focus in the green deck, but you can also name Warriors if you end up in white-green, and since Warriors are really a solid tribe, you can also like name Berserkers or Giants. This is a pretty strong card. Like, it has a lot more upside, I think, over the Bergstrider, even though Bergstrider is also pretty fantastic. This, I think, has a lot more value in the late game, since it can just maybe like help you dig through your deck, cast playables. It's a good card. I would still take Demon Bowl over this pack 1 pick 1, but this is definitely going to be the pick over Bergstrider. Skemfar Elderhall, decent spell land in the black-green Elves deck. And yeah, Usher Fallen's excellent. Vargoth is okay. I mean, if you can constantly boast with this, is quite strong. But however, yeah, I guess it's kind of like a must-kill threat. It doesn't really give you card advantage, I hate to say. This card's better in a late game, I guess. If you're able to cast this card late and start boasting with this and just drawing, like putting a lot of good cards on top of your library, this card's excellent. But in the early game, it's not as good because you're not really generating any card advantage. And yeah, just putting a land on top really isn't super exciting. But it is a difficult creature to block. And it's pretty solid. I don't know. I'd probably still take it over the Frostpire. This is an excellent spell land too, but does come into blue, white, blue, red. There's also an argument of taking just Usher to Fall and just going with the aggressive white plan. This card's excellent. Like, a 1-mana 2/1 is quite nice if you can play this exactly on turn 1. And then if you can boast this constantly, it's quite great. Yeah, this card's excellent in the red-white boast deck and the white-green boast deck as well. But I feel like Vargoth is better in the late game. This card is not super amazing in the late game. It's insane and incredible if you can cast this on turn 1 and attack and boast with it. But it does, again, you are spending 2 mana to boast, so you're not really developing your creatures by playing your 2-drops. So eventually they can maybe put like a 1/3 blocker to stonewall this. So maybe still Vargoth here. But yeah, I'm not opposed to picking a black card. Like, a lot of people have been stating, again, black is the worst color, which I think it's correct. But there's some who will go as far as saying black is the worst color and almost unplayable. And I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think black is unplayable by any means. It could be a solid support color. Like, you can end up playing black-green elves and it could be fine. You can end up blue-black snow control, which is fine. You can end up splashing black in the blue-green deck, blue-green snow deck, and it's pretty awesome as well. And yeah, and black-red is probably the best black archetype too, with the Berserkers theme. So yeah, I'm not sold on the fact that black is unplayable, but I'm pretty sure it is the worst color. But yeah, white is also the second worst color. A lot of people have been stating that too, and we still managed to get to 7 wins. So yeah, theory does help. when it comes to making your first pick, since you can kind of know what the worst colors are, but it's not a reason to like avoid it by any means. If black is open, draft it. But again, if you have better options, maybe you take something else. But I just like how Varagov here could be good in the early game and the late game. As a good in the early game, since it's not an easy creature to block and it can still trade off, and then it's great in the late game since it can just help you like find good cards to put on top of your library. Whereas Usher's only good in the early game, but if you don't cast him on turn 1 exactly, he's not great. So yeah, I mean, both have their upsides and downsides, but I think Varagov still better than Usher. So there you have it. Not a bad 7-win draft. So yeah, don't avoid 2 colors. Don't avoid tier 2 archetypes. They can usually get to 7, and you can definitely get well rewarded. Even if you don't like pack one, pick one, the best card that's slightly better, just to stay open and take a much more flexible approach. You don't always have to go 3 colors in this set. 3 colors is great. Go 3 colors by all means if you can do it, and you pick up some broken cards, but don't avoid 2 color decks. They can really, really win games, and this is another great example. So yeah, there you have it. Enjoy the second part video, which is this one, and yeah, the first video just had to bug out. So yeah, enjoy the video. We could do I could do a draft sealed next video just to prepare for the February 20 and 21st event, which is the sealed open qualifiers. So we'll see about that. But in the meantime, hope you guys enjoy the video and have a wonderful day. Take care.